Alright, so today we're solving linear equations. It's gone pretty good today, so I don't think you'll be as frustrated with me today as you have been. When we're solving linear equations, I like to draw this straight line down where the equal sign is, because it helps keep your equation balanced. Now we're trying to solve for x here, but I have x's on both sides of my equal sign, and that's a problem, because I don't know what x to solve for. So you need to move your x's and combine them before you can start solving. It doesn't matter which side you move it to. I'll subtract the 4x. So that goes away. And I'm just left with 3 on the left side. And on the right side, 9x minus 4x, 5x, and then I still have the minus 4. Right, and so now I want to get rid of this stuff on the side with the x. I want to get rid of the 5 and the negative 4. And if you ever wonder what to get rid of first, whatever the order of reverse PEMDAS is, that's what tells you. So add the 4. So I get 5x over here, 7 over here, and then divide by 5. So 7 over 5 is x.
Is that a regular equal sign?
Yes. Yes, I'm just drawing the line to keep my equation balanced. And yes, I like fractions. On a test, if you put it in a decimal, I'd still give you credit, but I prefer fractions. And improper fractions. Don't give me mixed numbers. I really don't like mixed numbers. All right. What's up?
You said you reverse PEMDAS for the whenever you add 4.
Mm-hmm. Like it tells you, so you're going to add or subtract if you can first. Then you multiply or divide. And then you do your exponents and then what's in parentheses. So on number 2, there's a couple ways you could do number 2. You could, if you wanted to, distribute out the 2. But because it's going to lead into some of the other things we do, I'm going to solve it using reverse PEMDAS without distributing. So first ask yourself, what are you adding and subtracting? The 8, right? So I'm going to get rid of that first. Minus 8. All right, now the y minus 3, that's inside the parentheses. So that's the p, that's the last thing you're going to deal with. So we're still working with the numbers on the outside. Are we multiplying or dividing anything?
Yeah.
Yes, the 2, right? So to get rid of that, we're going to divide by 2. So y minus 3 equals 31. And now I can do what's in the parentheses. What's the last step to get y by itself? Add 3, good. All right, problem number 3. All right, draw my line. All right, so I'm trying to solve for x. So what am I going to get rid of first?
11.
Say it louder.
The 11.
The 11, very good, the 11. Because the 11 is being added or subtracted to the x variable. All right, the 1/3 is being multiplied. So that's why we get rid of the 11 first. So minus 11, minus 11. So that goes away. Negative 1 over 3x equals negative 15. Okay, and then I want to get rid of the fraction negative 1 over 3.
Multiply.
By what?
Negative 1 over 3.
Not negative.
No, 1 over 3.
By 3.
Yes, the reciprocal. So you're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is just negative 3. Because negative 1 over 3 flipped is 3 over 1, right?
Why did you put negative 3?
when you multiply or divide, you keep the sign.
Who isn't the sign on the negative one?
It doesn't matter whether it's on the 3 or the 1, as long as there's just one of them. All right, so for fractions, to get rid of them, multiply by the reciprocal. So if we do it to that side, we're going to do it to this side. So over here, my fraction goes away, it equals 1. Negative 3 times negative 1/3 gives me the number 1, which is what I want. And then, whoa, what? This?
Oh.
That's a times. So it's negative 15. Yes, thank you. 45. All right, do you want to try number 4 on your own?
Yeah.
All right. We do on this one because there's lots of x's. This one we didn't because there was only 30 in one.
Wait, so there's more than one X on the side, like there's like 2 or 3 on like this side, and then there's the distribution.
Yeah. And you have to combine all your like terms.
Okay, here's my question. It's so stupid. You know the first one here is -8. Why don't you just do -2?
Because the 2's not being added.
Okay,
being
but
multiplied.
neither was the 11.
Yes, it is. The 11 is a subtraction sign, not a multiplication. Yes, on this one you have to distribute because there's multiple x's. So you have to distribute to get all your x's together.
Okay,
You're stuck?
okay, combine like terms and then just solve for x.
So you add and then combine your numbers. You can. We still need to get our x's together though. We lose your x's. So like plus x over here. And then if I add you're just combining it. So it's negative 10 plus 4. Well, no, it's only 5. And this is a negative. Where's this negative? If you don't need help later on, let me know.
It's not. I think the right answer. I probably got
Did you get 3? You can't, if you're going to have a 6, it's 6x, not just 6. Alright, you should have gotten 3. Let me explain it out. When y'all are working on the practice, if you need help, let me know about the solving. But we have to distribute the 4 and the negative 5 because we have lots of x's. So you have to get all your x's together before you can start solving. So when you distribute the 4, you get 4x plus 12. When you distribute the negative 5, you get negative 10x plus 5 equals 2 minus x. You still have too many x's. So we combine like terms. 4x minus 10x is negative 6x. And 12 plus 5 is 17. We still have too many x's. There's an x over here, there's an x over here. So I added this x to this side. And so now I just have one term with x, and then you can solve the rest of it out, and you get 3. All right, go to 5 and 6. All right, 5 and 6. I'm solving for a variable and there's other letters in my equation. So I'm solving for h in number 5, which means I want to get rid of all of the other stuff. So same thing, ask yourself, are you adding or subtracting anywhere? No, okay. Are we multiplying or dividing? What? The 3. We are dividing by the 3. So I'm going to get rid of that by multiplying both sides by 3. Because it's being divided by 3, so you do the opposite. So those guys go away. Now I have 3v plus pi r squared h. Alright, so remember I'm trying to get h by itself. So I want to get rid of the pi r squared. What is the pi r squared doing to the h? Multiplying. So how do you get rid of it? Divide it. So divide by pi r squared, divide by pi r squared. And now h is by itself, and you have finished. All right, let's try number 6. Solve for b. All right, so I'm trying to get b by itself. Is anything being added or subtracted? Yeah, the w. So that's what you're going to move first. So plus w. All right, so on the left side, I just have h plus w. There's a plus sign in between them because you're adding them. Okay, so now I need to get rid of 2/5.
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal, very good, which would be what?
5 seconds.
Yes, it is. 5 over 2.
Yeah, I just saying the other side.
Then you got to do the same to the other side. Multiply it all by 5 over 2.
So do you just always do the opposite because it's also being multiplied in the original formula? So we just completely do the opposite with everything.
Yep. That gets rid of it, doing the opposite. All right, so those fractions cancel each other out. That equals 1, and I'm just left with 1b over here. And on the left side, 5 over 2, h plus w. Yes, good. All right, flip it over on the back.
Oh, word problem.
All right, we got some word problems. They're good though. All right, number 7. A dog kennel owner has 108 feet of fencing to enclose a rectangular dog run. She wants the length to be 5 times as long as the width. Find the dimensions. All right, so I'm gonna draw a picture. Got this rectangular dog run. This is the length. This is the width. And I'm trying to solve for the variables. So I want to draw a new picture. And I only want to use one of the variables. So how can I rewrite the length with a w? 5w, right? Because it's 5 times the width. So the length equals 5 times the width. So you can rewrite L as 5w. So the length here now is 5w. The width is w. This length is how much? 5w. And the width here is w.
That it?
Not yet. Okay, what's the other piece of information I know?
You have 108 feet of fencing.
Very good. You have a total of 108 feet of fencing. And what do you think I'm going to do with all of these terms? Combine them. So 5w plus 5w plus w plus w is what? 12w. Yeah. 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1. So 12w.
That's it?
So I got this equation now. Solve for w. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. So w equals 9. right, I'm going to take that 9 and I'm going to plug it back in to find the length, which means the length is going to equal what?
45.
45.
45.
Okay, jump over to number 8. Number 8 says the sides of a quadrilateral are in the ratio 1, 3, 4, 6. The perimeter is 35. Find the lengths. All right, so I have this quadrilateral. It's not a rectangle because the sides are all different. They're in this ratio right here. So ratio is kind of like multiplying, you know, proportions and stuff. So if this side is 1x, I know I have a side that's 3x. I know I have another side that's 4x and another side that's 6x. And yeah, and you're going to add them all together and tell me again, what do I get? 14 x's, and it's going to equal 35 because I know the perimeter is 35.
You want to solve for x?
Yeah, and then solve for x. And you get 5 over 2. Now, 5 over 2 is not the answer. The answer is asking for the lengths. So you just have to plug it into all 4 of those, and that would give you the answer. Does that make sense?
35 over 2 times.
Yeah, 5 over 2 times 3, 5 over 2 times 4.
You also accept it with the 5 over 2 in a decimal form.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do 2.5. All right, so that's how you would get that one.
Do you add them up together?
You would have 4 separate answers. An answer for each length, because there's 4 lengths.
We just do like L1, L2.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9 says find 3 consecutive even integers with the sum of 120. All right. What does consecutive mean?
1, 2, 3.
In a row. Yeah, in a row, like right after another, like 1, 2, 3.
Dang, that's hard.
Even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, right? And what does sum mean?
Well, you add them.
Adam.
Add. All right,
Oh,
so
I found it.
Don't say. How do you insult?
no.
To guess random numbers.
What'd you get?
38, 40, 42.
That's right. Okay, well, the mathy way to do it without just guessing random numbers. All right, so let's say 2 is my first even number, right? Oh,
5.
I missed 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 2 is my first even number, right?
Yeah.
What's the next consecutive even number?
4.
Okay, what's the one after that?
6.
Right? Okay, but it could be any even number. So I'm going to say, okay, my first even number is going to be x. And I'm going to add that to my next even number. Okay. Yeah, well, my next even number is x plus 2. It's 2 more than the first even number, right? Because 4 is 2 more than 2. Does that make sense? Plus, okay, my third even number. How many more is my third even number?
4.
4. So this is the first even number. This is the second one. This is the third one. And it's going to equal what? 120. And because we never, ever, ever use nsolve in here, we get to solve this out. Combine your x's. So how many x's do you have? 3x plus 6 equals 120. And then, yeah, subtract 6. 3x equals 114. Divide by 3. And so x is 38, which means that my 3 even numbers are 38, 40, and 42. Is that better?
Yeah, you like that.
All right, try the next one on your own. It's really similar to number 7. It's similar to the dog run problem. Try it on your own.